or not.
Even justified in using any type of force.
Yeah. And even if you are justified, now think about this. Now you're thinking about loading the gun at the same time. So you're trying to do 3 to 4 things.
And articulate something to that person who, I don't know if, in the scenario that we did, I really didn't know if you were going to be the threat that time or not.
And now you're talking 5 things.
So I could not verbalize actually. Pretty verbal, but I could not verbalize once I had the gun in my hand and I was focused on loading the gun, my verbalization stopped because all of my attention went to that fine motor skill of loading the gun. If I do not look at the magazine well and the magazine, although I've done it a lot, could not reliably, especially under stress, load the magazine into the magazine well. So now I can't pay attention to any of those things that all the basic self-defense classes and what you've taught me to pay attention to, I can't pay attention to any of those things.
And you got to remember one other thing. Tooler was done with police officers with loaded guns against an individual with a knife. And they had difficulty at anywhere less than 15 feet being able to draw that firearm and be able to shoot twice at center mass. So if a trained police officer goes out in the range once, twice a year, maybe has some sort of defensive tactics training on top of it, be able to move, is trained how to reload under stress, can't do it, then how can the average person that doesn't have that constant repetition or that constant training be able to multitask? Remember, Hicks' law says the more complicated the process, the longer it's going to take you to do that process. So when you're talking about doing 5 things, let's say, being able to identify a threat, being aware of your surroundings, looking for multiple adversaries, knowing how to manipulate a firearm, maybe verbalizing, looking for a safe escape, all right? Every time you add another factor to that, you're slowing down your reaction time. And once your attention is drawn to something you have in your hand, a firearm, and now you have 2 things in your hands, well, it becomes even more complicated.